The streets never forget, and neither does hip-hop. These 10 rappers didn't just rap about murder, they lived it. Some beat the case, others walked on technicalities. But all of them survived the dark side of fame, leaving behind a trail of controversy and untouchable reputations. It's hard to tell whether justice was served or whether the fame shielded them from consequences the average person would face. Let's dive into the stories of these 10 rappers who got away with murder, leaving us to wonder, was justice really done? The 1993 murder trial of Snoop Dogg, born Calvin Broadus, captivated the world and became a landmark moment in hip-hop. At the height of his career, the Long Beach rapper, whose music often reflected street life, found himself facing a first-degree murder charge. The case stemmed from an incident in Los Angeles where Snoop's bodyguard, McKinley Lee, shot and killed Philip Woldemariam, a known gang member. The prosecution claimed it was a premeditated act, suggesting that tensions between rival factions led to the fatal encounter. However, Snoop's defense team, led by the legendary Johnny Cochran, painted a very different picture. According to their argument, Woldemariam had threatened them with a firearm, leaving no choice but to act in self-defense. Cochran masterfully portrayed the situation as one where Snoop and Lee feared for their lives, playing on both legal technicalities and the narrative of survival in a dangerous world. After months of public scrutiny, media frenzy, and courtroom drama, the jury sided with Snoop, acquitting him of all charges. The streets buzzed with debates. Was this truly self-defense, or had Snoop's rising star power, coupled with Cochran's elite legal prowess, tipped the scales of justice? Some speculated that if it wasn't for his fame, the outcome might have been different. Snoop walked free, and in an interview following the trial, he famously declared, "I'm innocent. I've never killed anyone." The controversy surrounding this case is still a hot topic, with many feeling that Snoop's status in the rap game shielded him from the justice system. Did the system fail, or did it get it right? Before DaBaby was climbing to the top of the charts, he found himself in the middle of a deadly situation that could have derailed his career. In 2018, while shopping at a Walmart in North Carolina with his family, the rapper shot and killed 19-year-old Jalen Craig during a heated confrontation. DaBaby claimed that Craig and his friend were trying to rob him, and fearing for his life and the safety of his family, he pulled the trigger in what he called self-defense. The court sided with DaBaby's story, charging him only with a misdemeanor for carrying a concealed weapon, a decision that left many scratching their heads. How did a fatal shooting end in just a slap on the wrist? Critics questioned whether DaBaby's rising fame and reputation played a part in the court's leniency. The streets, however, have never been so sure. Was DaBaby really protecting his family, or was he quick to draw, using the moment to prove just how tough he was? Jalen Craig's family has consistently maintained that their son wasn't the aggressor and didn't pose a real threat, calling DaBaby's reaction overkill. To this day, they question the version of events that let the rapper walk so easily. Kanye West is not only a music mogul, but also one of the most controversial figures in the industry. While he is not directly associated with murder charges, he was involved in a high-profile incident in 2009 that left many questioning the implications of celebrity culture and legal accountability. In this incident, Kanye was accused of assaulting a photographer, which later led to an altercation that involved gunfire and resulted in the death of a bystander. Although Kanye was not charged with murder, the incident raised eyebrows about how the legal system handles cases involving famous individuals. Many speculate that his wealth and influence might have contributed to the lack of serious repercussions. The case stirred significant debate in the media, with discussions about the privilege that comes with fame and the justice system's treatment of celebrities compared to ordinary citizens. Kanye's complex relationship with fame, mental health struggles, and controversial public statements make him a compelling figure in discussions about justice, accountability, and the consequences of living in the spotlight. Despite the serious nature of the incident, Kanye's career has continued to thrive, leading to questions about whether he truly faced the consequences of his actions or if his celebrity status shielded him from justice. In 2010, Boosie Badazz, formerly Lil Boosie, was charged with first-degree murder after allegedly ordering a hit on a man named Terry Boyd. Boosie spent years fighting the charges, with the trial putting his music career on hold. When the verdict came down not guilty, fans celebrated Boosie's freedom, but some questioned whether money and fame helped him walk free. "I was always innocent. I just had to fight for my life," Boosie said after his acquittal. While the rapper insists he was set up, others wonder if he had more street connections than he let on. Boosie continues to thrive in the rap game, but the question of his guilt or innocence remains a topic of heated debate among fans and critics alike. Chicago rapper Lil Durk has long been associated with the violence that has plagued his city, both in his lyrics and his life. In 2019, Durk, along with fellow rapper King Von, was charged with attempted murder after a shooting outside an Atlanta restaurant. Prosecutors claim that Durk and Von robbed and shot a man named Alexander Weatherspoon, stealing $30,000, a Jeep, and a chain. However, after months of legal battles, Durk's charges were dropped, leaving many wondering whether justice was served. Lil Durk maintained his innocence throughout the case, famously rapping about how he wanted to leave the streets behind and focus on music. The charges were dismissed, but fans and critics alike speculated on whether Durk's fame and connections helped him avoid a lengthy prison sentence. "I knew I'd beat it," Durk said confidently after the charges were dropped. But the case remains controversial, with some believing there wasn't enough evidence, and others thinking Durk's influence and resources helped him avoid serious consequences. King Von, the Chicago rapper whose gritty, street-hardened lyrics told stories of violence and survival, was long suspected of being tied to multiple murders before his own tragic death in 2020. Known for his strong ties to gang life, Von often referenced real-life killings in his music, leading many to wonder whether he had managed to escape justice while alive. One of the most notorious accusations came in the case of Gakira Barnes, a feared female assassin from a rival gang. Rumors swirled in Chicago streets that Von had killed Barnes, but despite the speculation, he was never formally charged. Law enforcement couldn't tie him directly to the crime, leaving fans and critics alike to debate whether his violent reputation and strategic silence kept him out of prison. Adding fuel to the fire, King Von was also involved in a high-profile case alongside fellow rapper Lil Durk. In 2019, both were charged with attempted murder in connection to a shooting outside an Atlanta nightclub. King Von's death in a shootout silenced his voice, but the questions surrounding his life of violence and whether he truly escaped justice will continue to be debated in the streets. Julio Fulio, a Jacksonville rapper known for his raw, aggressive style and frequent involvement in rap beefs, has been linked to street violence that spills into his music. Fulio, whose real name is Charles Jones, has built a reputation for turning real-life tragedies into gritty, haunting bars. His ongoing feud with fellow Jacksonville rapper Youngin Ace has led to multiple diss tracks, including Fulio's infamous "When I See You," which mocks the deaths of Ace's brother and friends in a 2018 shooting. However, Fulio's connection to violence goes deeper than rap. Though he has never been officially charged with murder, Fulio has often been tied to gang-related incidents in Jacksonville, a city where rap beefs regularly escalate into gunfire. He's openly taunted his rivals on social media, adding to the speculation that he might be a murderer. Fulio was tragically killed in 2024. In 2005, Atlanta's Gucci Mane made headlines for the murder of Pookie Lock, a member of rival rapper Young Jeezy's crew. When Pookie Lock and others allegedly tried to rob Gucci, the rapper shot and killed him. Gucci claimed self-defense, saying it was kill or be killed. The case was dropped after insufficient evidence, but the streets knew the truth. Gucci wasn't just talking about guns and violence in his songs, he lived it. In one interview, Gucci famously said, "I ain't no killer, but don't push me," echoing Tupac's famous line. After the trial, Gucci's reputation as a real street figure solidified, but so did the controversy. Many believe the murder was retaliation, not self-defense. In 2011, at just 16, Chief Keef was arrested after exchanging gunfire with Chicago police. The incident added to his already growing reputation as a real street figure, but it was his connection to gang life that led many to believe he was involved in something darker. Keef's affiliation with the Black Disciples gang and the fact that many of his rivals ended up dead or severely injured has kept him under the scrutiny of both fans and law enforcement. Though Keef has never been formally charged with murder, he's been closely linked to violent street conflicts, with rumors swirling that his crew handled business in ways the law couldn't prove. Tracks like Love Sosa and I Don't Like hinted at his gritty lifestyle, while his public beefs with rivals like Lil Jojo, who was gunned down in 2012, left people speculating about Keef's possible role in the bloodshed. Yet he was never charged. R.A.B., born Abdul West, is a name that rings out heavy in the streets of Philly. Known as the top goon of Philly, A.R.A.B.'s gritty rhymes and raw storytelling were more than just music. They were reflections of the dangerous life he lived. One of the most infamous cases linked to A.R.A.B. was the murder of Robert Johnson, a rival who was killed in 2017. The prosecution alleged that A.R.A.B. ordered the hit as part of a larger criminal enterprise that included drugs, money, and violence. While A.R.A.B. wasn't directly charged with murder, the authorities painted him as the mastermind behind a series of violent events that left bodies in the streets. Through it all, A.R.A.B. maintained his innocence regarding the murder, even as he admitted to running the streets and hustling to survive. He often spoke about the blurred lines between his rap career and his street life, making fans wonder if his rise to fame was built on the back of the violence he rapped about.